Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you, not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Then lock your door. 5, 6, gonna cruise up this.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin here with you.
And Scotty Bonin here with you guys.
We are
the Blood Brothers.
And
the Rob.
Back in action.
I feel like you were gone for last episode, but you weren't. You were gone for the Cult Classic action. It's throwing me off.
I couldn't make the CCA.
That's all right. It was a weird Saturday in the middle of the day.
Rob was swimming naked in his mom's pool.
We did say
how I
that.
do it.
We did say that on the PC.
Yep. It's not really like he's naked though. It's like he's wearing a hair suit.
Yeah. It's just
yes.
shrubbery over his genitals.
A furkini, if you will.
Furkini,
Ooh,
yes.
A thong.
A fong.
There you go. Yes.
Fur
Made out of
Furkini. I like furkini. Fong's good.
made out of the coarsest pubic hair.
Oh, of course.
I wish I was swimming with you, naked in the furkini.
It was in the 80s here for a couple of days, and it went back down to the 40s again.
Ooh,
jeez.
So they have to clean the filter after every time Rob gets in the pool.
Oh no,
we're in the mid 60s here today. It's pretty nice, but chilly nights still. Chilly nights.
Good God.
Yeah, well.
But no, you were here for Poltergeist because now we're here for Poltergeist 2.
I believe that Pizza Hut owes us money or a sponsorship. Because,
Oh my God, dude.
Because after we mentioned Pizza Hut in the last episode, and after I posted in the group that I had ordered Pizza Hut because I got a hankering, like 7 more people had ordered Pizza Hut after the episode.
Pizza Hut owes us. We need to get sponsored. Like a lot of people in the group were saying, Pizza Hut needs to sponsor us. Seriously.
I want to know how many people legitimately ordered Pizza Hut because of the episode. Now I know there definitely are a few for sure, some of the elites.
Oh yeah.
But then again, I also want to know if Pizza Hut's on the reg for them because it's not for me.
No, me neither.
No.
We just talked about this. Like I hadn't had Pizza Hut in years, like 4 or 5 years probably, and then and just because of that, I ordered Pizza Hut.
I hadn't had Pizza Hut in 8 years.
Tell us about
the online profile that I went to order it, and it was like I was putting in my email because you want to get the coupons.
Yeah.
And they're like, you already have an account. I'm like, bullshit.
You're like, I don't remember creating that.
I was like, the last time I ordered Pizza Hut, the internet wasn't even around, so I don't have an account. But no, I looked it up in the last address. I had to change everything. Credit cards, address. Anyway, the last address they had on file was a house that we were living in, not too far from here, actually, but it was before my daughter was born.
That's insane.
So it was like 9 years.
God, man. See,
and
now we're
went
bringing it
all
back.
out. It was my cheat day. I've been doing good, been losing weight. It was my cheat day. Danny's like, you got to have one cheat day.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I was really surprised because you could get a lot of Pizza Hut for $30.
Breadsticks, pizza,
I got
2 liter.
I got breadsticks and I got a pizza, and we got wings. They had this. I don't know if they had the same deal down where you're at, but they had this deal where you could choose 3 things for $5 each. And so literally,
no, I didn't have that.
Yeah, literally, I got a medium pizza with sausage and green pepper, and I got it was a double order. It was like 10 breadsticks.
You had I saw that picture. You had a shit ton of breadsticks.
10 breadsticks, and then a thing of wings, and it was all for like $17 with tax.
Damn, dude. That's a good deal.
I got a large pan with sausage.
Pan's
and
extra.
Pepper. Oh, but it's
the pan's the only way to go.
I didn't get pan. I got hand tossed.
I got and they have crust toppings now all of a sudden.
Oh.
So the pan with the Pizza Hut crust topping is what I picked because I figured it's the original, with meatball and sausage, an order of breadsticks, which Danny's right, they're so good.
Oh, they're so good.
The breadsticks
they're
with their marinara sauce.
Well, I was like, I'm gonna get cheese sticks, but I'm like, nope. Danny said, the OG breadsticks.
Gotta get the breadsticks.
I couldn't remember what they were like, so I was like, I got that. And then the Panda got a large hand toss. Or no, she got stuffed crust. She got the stuffed crust.
I fucking love stuffed crust.
Pepperoni and bacon. And then we got the kids one. But yeah, it was like 2 large pizzas, a medium breadsticks, and a soda with extra dip and sauce. And it was like $32.
I just wish.
And I swear, because I've been on this diet, no carbs and stuff, dude, I had like 3 slices of that pan, and I thought I was going to die.
Butt pee. We were talking about butt pee for the Predator episode.
I was a little clogged up after that, and I would have paid double the price if they would have brought me a pan pizza in the black pan with a little pan holder. And dropped it on my coffee table.
Spatula.
Left the spatula and some side plates there.
Oh God.
Now I did some Googling, and in my town we have several Pizza Huts, but I was like, dude, I told Savannah, I'm like, we're gonna go sit down. Pizza Hut is a sit down restaurant, and I looked, and I even did the Google map. We have a lot of Pizza Huts. I think everybody has their fair share.
There's one like 5 minutes away from my house, so I've eaten it in the last year.
There is only one Pizza Hut in all of Tallahassee, Florida, that has the hut roof. All the rest of them are these new buildings. Yeah. And I just made up my mind. It doesn't count unless it has the old school hut roof.
Yeah, you got to have the hut roof.
I don't think we have
with like
one
the hat on
that
top
has that
of it
anymore, do we?
We have a one that closed down. Now it's like a grilled, like a chicken place, post chicken place.
That's right.
But it still has the hut roof on it. But they like decorated it with like shingles and like old wood and stuff to make it look like it's not a hut roof. But it's a hut roof still.
Yeah, you got to have the hut roof. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not really craving it right now, but I have a feeling that
I am now.
come Friday evening, I think Pizza Hut may be the new thing for me.
I still haven't had it yet. I still haven't got my cravings.
It tastes a little like heartburn, a little bit.
Dude, we created like a ripple effect. We created a ripple effect. Like everyone in the group ordered Pizza Hut. I mean, I can't wait for the horror halftime. We have so many Pizza Hut memes that are just fucking amazing.
This is all relevant because they mentioned Pizza Hut and Poltergeist, but we are here to talk about Poltergeist II, The Other Side.
1986.
Is it 86?
The year I was born,
yes.
1986.
It's 1986.
I was nominated for Best Special Effects in 87, so that's why
right.
It was confusing me.
Filmed in 85, but released in 86, and then it was nominated later.
Not a bad movie. Just doesn't have quite the nostalgia that you get with the first one.
Yeah, well, there's so much cut from it.
They went a little too hard with this. I still like it. Like
me too.
Savannah mentioned it. The first one, I think I already mentioned it. The first one I equate to Jaws. It's like a perfect movie, and it's so good. Now Jaws 2 and all the other Jawses are arguably some of the worst movies ever made. Kind of like The Howling.
There's a lot of critics out there that have said that. I did see that.
And this movie is not that bad.
No,
but it's missing all of the spark, i.e. Steven Spielberg, that the original had.
It's true. You don't have Spielberg. You don't have Tobe Hooper.
Yeah.
You have Gibson.
Brian Gibson.
Brian Gibson, who hasn't really done anything.
This was his only horror directed feature film, and he didn't really direct a lot before this either.
Yeah, you don't have the mention of Pizza Hut. You don't have the dated kitchen. I mean, you sort of do, but just not in the way that you did in the first one.
Well, supposedly there was the original runtime of this was 131 minutes, but then they cut it down to 86 minutes because MGM rushed the production and ordered the cuts So there might have been a little bit more of a movie, but I don't know if the full length would have made it better or not. Although I still liked it.
I will say Craig is rocking the mullet in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
yes, I did enjoy
Nelson.
that.
But then it disappears later. He doesn't have it anymore.
I mean, the beginning of the beginning of the movie, I actually liked way better than anything else because it really did try to be, or it didn't try. It worked really well as being like the original Poltergeist with him talking about like, oh, we're gonna paint the car day glow, real freaky, and he has those little like funny rants and everything, and the house the house insurance won't come through because technically it's just missing right now.
They're all like broke.
And it had the kind of great dialogue and comedy without being over the top, and I really did like it. But then it kind of missed. It kind of missed on not a lot of things, but it made me just want to watch the first movie. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it still had the same feel. I mean, it's 1 year later. It's a direct sequel. We still have the same family members. They're living at Diane's mom's house now. So you still got the same feel. You got Heather O'Rourke, who's older now. And obviously we don't see Dana, the oldest sister. She obviously passed away, was murdered after the first one by her ex-boyfriend, as we said in the later podcast. But they were going to have a scene shot of her going off to college. And that's where she's at during this. But they never shot that scene, so there's no explanation of where she is at.
Yeah, she's just completely missing.
Yeah.
I mean, she was strangled by her boyfriend, but
so she is missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's her name? Dominic Dunn. Yeah, that's right. So she's gone. But other than that, you have the whole family. It's still the same feel. You have the short medium Tangina, and then we have the wise Indian
Taylor.
That's here. Taylor. I love his name.
Such a weird Indian name, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor. I'm like, what? I had to rewind it. Like, did they say Taylor?
I will say that, I mean, I love Craig T. Nelson. I shouldn't say I love Craig T. Nelson.
I love him too.
He's one of those guys to where it's like, oh, that's Craig T. Nelson. It's not, you're never like, it's Craig T. Nelson. It's Coach.
He's got the mullet while he's balding. He's committed.
Oh, fuck yeah. He has the awesome chest hair.
And I honestly think he was the best part of this film because, I mean, I think he really leaned in. His role, he was just amazing. He delivered on everything. And I think that's not really where it lets you down. But, I mean, he was doing a lot of work to keep a lot of these scenes, like, afloat.
I know we're moving ahead, but when that scene after he drank the worm, when he was, like, possessed, oh, my God.
I love it.
That's was so
one of
good.
The best practical effects like in horror movie history.
Yeah, his face was all like white and his eyes were like black. But yeah, he was like demonic.
I wonder if losing the mullet was a conscious decision or not. I wonder
MGM
or he just happened to get it cut during that. Another thing, his son, they're just good old times. They use words that they wouldn't use in movies today unless it's a comedy, like retarded.
Or retardo.
And then retardo, yes.
Jerko. He calls Carol Ann, hey, Jerko.
Yeah, well, that's later on.
Yeah.
In the beginning when they don't have a TV and the son's complaining. He said something, I'm going to be retarded or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be retarded if I don't have a TV because they're listening to the baseball game on the radio.
Yeah. See, and I think all of that kind of stuff was perfect. Mm-hmm. Like that reminded me of the writing and the dialogue, and that reminded me of the original. And it's reminds me of Pizza Hut.
Yeah, exactly.
Just all about Pizza Hut for me.
But I mean, it does. And then, like I like the kind of strange old man character.
Yeah,
okay,
Reverend Cain.
The weird like Indian was pretty good. I just don't think some of this stuff, I think they had some really good ideas, but they just didn't really execute on it very well. Like, the backstory really was so quick you didn't get to enjoy it, and
it just felt rushed.
The sauna with the Indian and the peace pipe, and they didn't really explore Taylor too much.
Yeah.
He kind of is there, and then he's like, you are the warrior now. I must leave.
I'm out of here. I have to pick up my kids.
Yeah, like, wait, where are you going?
and I mean, like you said, it may have been editing. It may have been a lot of stuff that they edited, in my opinion, not the best. But the stuff where it's just the family, I think that's what made the first one work so well. There were other characters when the paranormal investigators came in and stuff like that. But literally just Craig T. Nelson and the family made the movie so dynamic, the way all the actors played off each other. And you got it in this. Like, I mean, when he pulls up and the car's acting up, there's a lot of that really, really good, perfectly, in my opinion, like perfectly written and perfectly acted scenes in it. And everything else is too. It's just, I don't really particularly like the storyline. I mean, that's just I guess it's just kind of on me. It's not terrible. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
So you have it turns out that under their old house was basically a tomb where this Cain,
Reverend Cain,
back in the late 1800s, drew a bunch of people into a cave they're on their way to California or whatever it was, and convinced them that the world was ending and they had to stay in there to be safe. And then the day came and went where the world was supposed to end, but he just kept them there until they all died. And that's where this haunting comes from. And basically, Cain is the entity that was haunting their house and is now not attached to the house, but is attached to them as a family. And no matter where they go, he's with them. He's attached to them.
And he's trying to possess the little girl in order to take over her head.
Just take her, or just take her to the dimension. Why does he want her?
Because I think she's the only one that he can enter through to get free. To get out.
I'll tell you what, I'd enter right through that little boy.
Because she's the one that has the special powers.
I'll leave the girl alone, and I'll tell you, I'd enter. I would enter I would enter the shit out of that little boy.
God, yeah, little boy. I'm a girl. Shut up, yo.
I would enter that little boy so hard.
Oh my God, Judd, get the fuck away. You are so bad.
You're going to violate your parole talking like that, Judd.
There's a lot of touchy subjects around these movies, and you can't think of Heather O'Rourke that way.
So what it seems like though is that the grandma lived like 4 streets over or something from their old house.
I'll tell you one thing.
I'm not sure how close it was.
It goes to show how amazing the original was. I'm contemplating everything I can to figure out. I've never even been to California. I probably will hate it, knowing that I kind of
depends on where you go.
Not really about that kind of life, and I probably will hate California. But like, if I had the money, I'd buy the house. I'd buy the house and move there in a second, because
we know where it's at. We looked it up.
Because it's just awesome. I'd buy the house. I'd move there in a second, and I would eat Pizza Hut there.
And you would make sure that nothing's updated.
No, I would probably have to spend like $300,000 to get it, unupdated.
Get it back to where it was.
That puke green carpet and that flowery wallpaper.
I would pay an exorbitant amount of money to not only have the house itself turned back to 1982, but all of the furnishings as well.
And you might have to remodel to get it to look like the inside of the house, since it was on a set and the exteriors were shot.
I want the red heat lamps in the bathroom. I want all of it. I have to have it. And this movie, like I said,
the old posters,
carpet in the bathroom.
There's just kind of like wasted stuff in this. I'm going to come out and say it. This movie was probably super hard to make a good sequel for.
Yeah.
And this is not a bad movie.
It's not a bad sequel at all.
But
I don't think.
I mean, like the grandmother, who cares?
It could be a lot worse.
I mean, you just really don't care about the grandmother's character, and
she dies pretty quickly.
Yeah, they introduced her. She wasn't even around in the first one. If we're talking about the characters, they reintroduced.
They're trying to pull a Shining with do you?
It was so. I have that on my notes as my next note here. They both know things. It almost had no place in the movie because they never came back to it.
The first movie had nothing to do with her.
Yeah, and they never came back to to her knowing things. It's just her being haunted. It's so dumb. While it was happening, I was like, no, this is stupid.
Well, the first movie was so perfect because it was kind of so simple. Why did they pick Carol Ann? Well, because she's this very young, angelic child, and that's what they say in the first movie, is that all of these people, or all of these spirits, or these people that have passed on, are drawn to her life force because she's this pretty little blonde, full of life child. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't need to be any more than that, you know?
Yeah.
And here it comes. Well, no, she has ESP.
And the grandma finds out because she feels it.
Sensitive, and then here it comes with, the grandmother's a sensitive, and they kind of put the telephone back in it again, you know, and it's almost like you have like a perfect movie to build off of, and again, this is not a bad movie. It's just compared to the original, the mistakes that they made. We're trying to, I think, outsmart the original, and you're just not going to do it. You can't make a storyline. Just continue the storyline. You know,
there's like a kid zoo going on in my house right now.
I hear.
Sorry about that.
Going on over there. I don't like a whole youth group meeting.
It's just Rudy's here moving his drums and brought his son, and then so Stella's playing with them, and then Scotty's daughter's up there.
Why is Rudy moving his drums?
He has to practice with another band he's filling in for or playing for, and then we're recording a single this weekend, so he has to bring his drums up there.
Yep. It's madhouse.
Why doesn't he just have like 3 or 4 sets of drums?
He does. He has 2 actually, but one guy is borrowing the other set, and he can't get a hold of them to get them back.
That's not good.
That's serious borrowing.
I know.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good. It's not a good situation.
Don't trust those guys.
So they introduced the grandmother. They wanted to bring
which the grandmother's played by old time actress Geraldine Fitzgerald.
Who I do like. I do like that actress.
Yes.
I don't know who
she's been in a lot. She's an old-time actress.
They brought back Zelda, but they were actually hoping to bring back the other doctor, hold on.
Yeah. The redhead.
Dr. Lesh was her name in the movie, and their first choice was to bring her back because she had more bond with the family in the first one. They had a relationship, and she was there like most of the movie, whereas Zelda came in just
Beatrice Straight. Yep, that's her name.
Which is crazy to me. See like what Danny like what you're just saying, like to me, that's brilliant. Like, none of these actors, I think, are too busy to come do a sequel.
Well, apparently she was, or she was not in good health.
She was ill and not willing to work at the time, and I guess Richard Lawson.
But you could have brought back the 2 assistants.
Well, they were going to bring back the black guy. I forgot his name, but that assistant, and he was in another movie, so they
Richard Lawson was his name. I think. Who also
they couldn't use him.
Asked to reprise the role, but he was doing something else. Yeah.
So they tried to bring both. So then they settled for Zelda.
Rubinstein,
yeah. And so then they introduced the grandma. They introduced Cain, who, I mean, is a cool character. He's a villainous looking guy.
Julian Beck. Yeah, he was really good. I thought he was creepy.
It's sad that
he's iconic. I mean, he really is. After this movie,
he makes this movie.
He's very iconic.
Creepier.
And he did look that way because he actually was dying of cancer. So that's the sad part.
Yeah.
And he did die before they completed filming.
See, what is it with this movie? With this series?
Well, that's part
People
of the curse.
Dying right after it.
We talked about the Poltergeist curse in the first episode, and this is just expanding on it. We already mentioned that the guy who plays Taylor dies a year after this movie releases. But yeah, Julian Beck.
Yeah, that's Will Sampson.
Julian Beck, who plays Cain, died before filming was even complete, but he was already had cancer, and so
he died of stomach cancer.
Yeah, and didn't I think
before? So there was some fill-ins.
Yeah.
So several of Beck's lines were dubbed in post-production by voice actor Corey Burton,
and I think they used a dummy at one point.
Yeah, I mean he died before it was released. And that's how Heather O'Rourke died before the third one was released too, and then Will Sampson died right after this got released from heart failure. So I think it was where I was just reading it. He died of heart failure, which he had to undergo heart and lung transplant. It didn't go well because of post-operative kidney failure. And he was only 53 years old.
Yikes.
So,
fake deaths. The grandma dies in this. We don't even know how or what happens. And
see, I was kind of hoping, rewatching it, I was kind of trying to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And she lays down in bed, and I'm kind of like, I was kind of hoping that they could tie the fact that the little girl, had ran into Cain, and that has something to do with the grandma passing. I mean, but it seemed to just be like this random coincidence.
Yeah.
It just seemed like to me like you brought in a character to kill him off just to have the one scene where Carol Ann is talking to her on the phone.
And she saves him at the end.
It seems like Carol Ann's like saying goodbye to her grandma.
She saves her at the end too, but since
she comes out of the light.
Since it's left up to the imagination, I like to believe that the grandmother died of explosive diarrhea.
Well, yeah, of course.
From all the Pizza Hut.
She had a ton of Pizza Hut in the first one. They moved into her house. All they ate was Pizza Hut. That's all she ever ate. And she just explosive diarrhea. She just sitting up there on the toilet going, "Oh, child! Oh!"
Yeah. Pouch Boy was nowhere to be found. Her colostomy bag overfilled and clogged up into her anal cavity.
Yeah, wherever those go.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was just waterlogged with diarrhea.
Oh,
it was
God.
coming. It was in the back of her throat.
That's why she had to say bye to Carol Ann. And Carol Ann's like, "What's that sound, Grandma?" As you hear, the sound of dying diarrhea.
Yes. Of course, there was the creepiness of the grandma has died, but then calls her on her little phone.
And to me, I mean, there's a lot of this stuff that, I mean, the idea was really good, and I'm not going. And it's just like I said, it just was kind of rushed. It wasn't executed very well, and then there were really good scenes of just pure terror, like the tequila worm scene.
Yeah.
I mean, oh God, like that thing unfolding underneath the bed is just.
Oh yeah, the
little
creature,
thing just
the beast,
squiggling around everywhere. I mean,
we should get to that.
It was so good.
But what I want to say though is that I don't know if it was just
good.
this time around, because maybe this was in the first one it looked like a cum monster to me, but in this one, all I kept picturing was Rob like vaping these monsters out and then vaping into that monster's face at the end, and like saving everybody.
Oh well, that's Taylor, the Indian. He obviously blows the smoke into Craig T. Nelson's face, and he inhales it.
Yeah, but even before
he keeps
that,
it in there.
My next note after the grandma dies it just says evil vape, so that must be the first time the vape monster shows up. See, Rob, this is what happens when you chuck clouds. Bad things happen.
Well,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a big responsibility to chuck mad clouds.
Yeah, of course. Well, the vape monster shows up in the very beginning when the Indian's sitting on top of that huge rock, and the fire comes out of the fire.
And then his. The
Taylor,
the holy man appears and then disappears, and like I said, like I don't mind Taylor in the movie at all. It would have been a lot better if they explored what he is, what he does.
It looks like he made a tent in their backyard with their like umbrella and the post for it.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. It's like a little teepee tent,
outdoor table umbrella. Like he made a tent, like a teepee out of it. I don't know. It was strange.
No, like I said, just some of it was just a little. I don't know, just a little strange to me.
I did like how Craig T. Nelson called Zelda the magical munchkin, munchkin.
Oh, like I said, Craig T. Nelson kills. He steals every scene of this movie, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I mean, he just does. He just delivers. He's funny in every scene that he's in, that he's supposed to be funny. He's crazy and whacked out and scary when he kind of hits the mark every single time. And that's that's great.
I
just think they could have done so much more with the sequel to this movie.
I want to talk for a second about they're outside in the scene where they're in the backyard and Taylor's looking up at the sky, and he's like, "I'm gathering my power" or something.
Yeah.
And he says, he's like, "Since you were born, someone's been doing something to you." And I was like, that was what? That was vague as shit. I just picture like a penny psychic that's like, I'm sensing something now. You are waiting for something spectacular.
This is like the wizard from the Wizard of Oz.
New shirts that I ordered. From,
Yes, shirts. Yes, you ordered on the internet. On the internet.
Yes.
I said it first. It first.
You like shirts, don't you? Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of shirts. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
Yes, you.
A man of your taste definitely likes shirts.
Yeah, he was very good. I mean, he attracted butterflies to him. You know, he just summons them up. He was very deep within spirit and mind.
Yes.
He's actually he performed an exorcism on the set.
Well, we talked about that already in episode 1.
But
that's a supposedly thing.
Yeah, but he was a real life shaman for several different groups before his death. But the studio security was instructed to leave the set and unlocked and unguarded so Samson could return in the middle of the night to perform the exorcism because of all the strange things that happened before on the set. They wanted to get the evil out, so nothing bad happened on this set.
Shaman. Good old Pablo's uncle was a shaman.
Yep. I was a shaman. Yes.
Ash vs. Evil Dead. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Yes. Rest in peace.
I feel so bad, but I still have to watch those.
I haven't watched season 3, so you're not alone. And I'm the biggest Evil Dead fan there is. So I don't understand myself.
There's nothing wrong with those, but there's still something missing. It just didn't. I mean, they're great. Not saying they're not great.
It's just the nostalgia of Evil Dead 1 and 2.
And then I also think it's the lack there of Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did direct the first episode, I think.
And I think he had a lot more control, or I think he was a lot more involved in maybe season 1 or the storyline of season 1.
Yeah.
But it kind of started to lose me a little bit. And they were only 30-minute run times.
They went through. They were really quick. Yeah.
Oh,
holy God!
Holy goodness!
Speaking of runtime,
oh man!
Goodness sakes!
All right, that means it's time for the
horror halftime. Oh, this is gonna be juicy.
A lot of sing it out.
Nobody out Pizza's the Hut. This podcast,
dude.
By Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
This Cult Classic Horror brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Oh God, there was just a lot of great memes.
So too many to choose from.
Before we even get to the memes,
God,
I'm going to give a big shout out to Lansdale, and I believe Aaron Garcia was involved in creating the new Cult Classic Horror Elite logo with the Pizza Huts.
Okay. Oh, so, yes, I saw that. The new Cult Classic Horror logo with Pizza Huts. We're going to have
to do this. Yeah. It's going to have to happen.
Well, I think
Lansdale's design was perfect, and then Aaron Garcia came in with his opinion on it, which I agree with. We have to make one perfect
to the old school.
We have to make one.
I like both.
No, it has to be old school.
It has to be the old school 1980s.
Yeah, you're right.
Very boxy square logo, and I mean with we will. Font. That will be in the Cult Classic Horror store soon. I am almost positive.
Oh yeah, we have to make that one. Yeah, we do need that.
Needed for sure. So yeah, that was a great.
I will be once those are in the store. I will take up my post as being a horror halftime winner, so I can get a free one.
Oh. All right.
We'll just send you one, I think, because you're a pretty important part of the podcast. I mean, I think you just get one.
All right. Well, there is a horror freak of the week, so let's do that first.
The horror freak of the week is
Johnny Hammond.
Johnny Hammond. He came in yesterday.
Newcomer, and it is one of. It isn't my favorite, but it's one of my favorite.
It is.
It's Pleasance pouch in the dirty swimming pool. I don't even know.
The dirty swimming pool mud. He said a horror beyond sanity, but at least we know where the pouch boy was dumping it.
Oh,
Holy Mother of God, I've fallen into the pleasures. Donald Pleasance colostomy sack.
Very original.
Yes.
And we love memes that have podcast context to them, and that's. You must have been listening because, I mean, we haven't done a Pouch Boy Pleasance episode since last.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Halloween before last.
Like 2 years
when we did those.
So we appreciate you listening to the older episodes,
yes.
Johnny.
Which is incredible to say that we have episodes that we could say, oh, that was a couple of years ago.
Exactly.
This has been going on for a long time.
Yes, it has.
I am going to say that my favorite one is Teddy's Kevin Comes Through.
Oh, yeah. I saved it. It's on my phone. That was beautiful.
I don't know. I like Ty's apparently one with the apparently kid because we kept saying apparently.
Yes.
And
allegedly, we kept saying apparently.
Yes. And we had Thad Timothy come with pain and suffering with Pinhead replacing it with Domino's Pizza.
I do.
That was a good one.
Freddie Torres has a couple good ones. The pizza on Rob's face.
Oh yeah, like the slice of cheese.
Yeah, there's some good shit there.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot. Yeah, Freddie Torres, Christopher Allen, Scott Ellswick,
Lance Dale's Tom Hardy as Zelda.
Oh yes, that was
pretty
very
awesome.
Good.
So
David Martin with
Tom Hardy
with the rolling the
can
TV
play
out.
Any character.
Yeah,
If there ever was a reboot and we needed a Zelda, Tom Hardy could play it.
It's true.
There was a lot with Costner in Pizza. David Martin rolled the TV out with Costner with the Highwayman on there.
Oh my God, that one was so great.
That's a great one.
Did you see my comment, Rob? I told you to calm down with the Highwayman.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm up to 5.
Oh, good God.
Poltergeist with Atkins, Selleck, and Scarrett.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
There's so many. I mean, I'm just going through all of them right now.
All right. Well, that's there's a ton of good.
David
news.
Heinrich, you had a good one.
Yep. Yeah, David Heinrich has a couple good ones. So yeah, check him out in the groups. Make sure that you get your memes in for next week for Poltergeist 3. So you can be the horror freak of the week. Johnny, go ahead and message the page, and I will get you something sent out. Probably a T-shirt sent out to you. Cool. All right, guys. That concludes the horror halftime.
So I want to get into this. So all the mayhem starts going down after the phone call, and then there's the light that comes down in Carol Ann's room and Robbie's room, and all the shit gets thrown around the room, and that's when the parents come in, and she says the infamous line, "They're back."
Which, who could sleep with the 2 massive skylights in their room?
Yeah. I mean, every morning.
They are aesthetically pleasing.
I guess they let a lot of natural light in, but when you're waking up in the morning and it's summer and the sun comes up at like 4:30,
Jesus, yeah, especially on the West Coast.
Yeah,
no can do.
So this is when all the shit starts going down. When then Robbie later after that gets braced all the way up to the wiring ceiling,
which was really kind of fun, but also disturbing.
Yeah,
I felt a little pain on that one.
Yeah, my teeth hurt, because I had braces. I know how those wires poke your the inside of your mouth, man.
Now that was a good one.
There was some good effects in this.
I think it might have been before that you first hear, you've seen Cain, you've seen the creepy guy, you've heard him talking while you're looking at him, but then the first time where you only hear his voice,
hello, like they're walking in like the mall.
No. When you only hear his voice, like at night in their house, when he is an apparition, like sitting on the chair, then getting up. I don't even remember what happened, but
yeah,
it was just his voice. It was this creepy thing, and it sort of like made me realize that he doesn't have the best voice for just a creepy voice. It sounds like sort of like the guy on Family Guy.
Yeah. You're all gonna die.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't think it was the best.
He says that line through the screen door. You're all gonna die.
I mean, his character was pretty.
It was.
I mean, like I said, it's iconic. I mean, he did a great job.
It was iconic.
And then I thought it was shortly after that where they did the. I think it was shortly after where they did the sweat lodge thing, and he makes the smoke go up, and then blows the smoke into Craig T. Nelson's nose and face.
Do I get a key to my locker here?
Yeah, but
then he said
he also says all seriously, the enemy has seen you now, and it would be more difficult. And I just thought it was really cheesy. I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah, I did like he immediately went to Indian. And I was like, we're about to get overly racist.
Yeah,
spiritual. His spiritual talking.
I just thought some of the spiritual Indian stuff was a little bit cheesy and over the top. I'm like, I don't know about all this, and I thought it was. Well, I'm getting there.
God is in His holy temple.
Well, I'll just say I thought it was hilarious towards the end when they're in the tomb, and all of a sudden Taylor's just there with a fire.
Are we going to the end already?
No, I just wanted to say that because I was talking about the Indian stuff.
That's because he just appears in places.
Like they're just all like they all go there and climb down the ladder and they're exploring, and then he's just there with a fire in the corner. Like
yeah, I know.
Like he's been there camping
him and
for
fire.
a few days.
I thought he was going to be gone for good, but no.
I am going to make a reference here. That was definitely an Evil Dead chainsaw. That was floating in the air.
Yes.
Had to have been. They did plan on shooting this movie in 3D. This was at the end of the 3D hype. You know, we have Amityville 3D and Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D or something like that.
Yeah, and then we also had Jaws 3 in 3D. I mean, it was a big deal.
Wasn't that Nightmare on Elm Street? One of the Freddy's in 3D too, maybe not.
Oh, I'm almost certain. Well, maybe not Freddy, but
yeah.
I think it was Freddy or Halloween.
Yes.
Maybe Halloween.
I don't know what Halloween was.
I mean, but no, definitely it was a very, very big 3D phase.
So they were gearing up to do that with this movie, but then they said that they realized it was a passing fad and ended up not doing it. And that was one of the scenes that was shot in 3D already, and then they didn't go back and reshoot it. So you can. That
was a cool scene.
It's not that you can really tell that it was shot in 3D, but you can tell how like the chainsaw's coming straight for the camera, and that would have came out at you, you know. And
a couple of like the beast or whatever the vomit monster too that was coming straight at you.
Yeah. It was interesting, but so I mean we're pretty much there now. They escape the house. They have to go to the old plot of their old house, down into the tomb underneath it, and I just don't really understand what's going on. Like, how do they know what they have to do, and what do they? How does it even help what they do? They just enter the spirit world, and then they leave it, and that's it. I mean, they got to get their kids, obviously.
Yeah.
But then they just got their kids. But what's to stop this thing from coming right back at them again?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't really know. But I did want to say you were talking about the effects and everything when Craig T. Nelson pukes up the worm and then it turns into this like little creature with non-existent legs.
Yeah.
That creature and also the like totem pole creature, I want to call it, because we got the Indian in here, were actually designed by Geiger, however you want to say it, who is so famous for doing, you know, the alien designs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I saw some of the concept artwork he did, and it looked even creepier, like even better. But he stayed in Zurich, and I guess didn't want to fly out to work on it.
Yeah.
So the communication wasn't the best.
And he wasn't pleased with a lot of the things.
So he wasn't super pleased with the final product, but there was also a lack of communication. It was just them going back and forth at Zurich and via, I don't know, probably not email at the time. It must have been like he sent sketches and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, when the vomit creature or the beast first comes out of his mouth and it kind of turns into that guy crawling around on the floor, that was actually a triple amputee guy. His name was Noble Craig. He was in the Vietnam War. And
what's his real name, Noble?
I don't know.
Or is that
Noble
just his
Craig?
Nickname, Noble Craig.
I watched a little YouTube video on it, and the director, whatever the director's name is, he was talking about Gibson, and he's been in like a lot of movies where there's creatures in it that like look deformed, but this guy, he had no legs, only his left arm, and he was missing an eye too. So they built a suit especially for him. And that's him crawling around on the ground. And then when it comes to be the great big beast, you know, that goes throughout the house, there was numerous lever operators and puppeteers, like 10 or 12 people. And the director said it was just so complicated and so hard. They had to do take after take with it. And Craig T. Nelson was just like, I guess he wasn't having it. He said it was like he was just miserable the whole time because he had to get all the slop on him and stuff and go through all of it. But I guess it was a pain in the ass to shoot.
It's so weird because I did see behind the scenes pictures of them puppeteering that thing, but on film it looks so. There's so many parts of it that look digital,
blobby.
Which I think they did. So certain parts of it must have been visual effects, and certain parts must have been puppeted.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the Giger's creatures would have looked a lot cooler.
Yeah, that was his. Right. Yeah, that was his. They only used that one and another one. They only used two of his ideas, even though he had like several for this movie, but the producer, MGM, whatever, only used those two, I guess, and he was kind of pissed off about that.
I didn't really catch this, but according to one video I watched, the guy in Scary Movie 2, this is my good hand.
Yeah,
is supposed to be a parody of Cain. The Cain character is what I read, but I don't really see the connection there, except that they're both wearing black suits and look similar.
Supposedly they used real skeletons in this as well, and the Cain skeleton at the very end, or in the beginning, we see it in the very beginning too. That was badass. He's like half rotting skin still, but you see his skull.
Yeah.
Apparently, like the very end.
Oh, apparently.
Well, see there I am. Apparently again, the very end with Cain running after or chasing after them. There was this whole big scene that was shot that lasted. This is more cuts here that lasted. For 15, it lasted a long time. The whole end scene with Cain going after the family and trying to kill them, and then them getting away, it's supposed to be this big old thing, but they cut it down to 2 minutes. And do you guys notice the end just goes so quick? They escape him and then he's dead. And what the fuck? The grandma gets Carol Ann and everything's done. This whole big thing was shot for that. But they cut it down, and I guess a lot of people were pissed off about that.
The end was just a little bit out there for me with them in the other dimension with all those pastel background tones, and then floating around, and then finally the grandma saves her from, I don't know, it was just really weird.
Yeah, and there was
it just seemed it was
rushed kind of.
It just really does. It's just some of this stuff, like I said, some of it is just so perfect.
Yeah,
you really can't complain about, and then it just kind of just misses on some of these big, massive scenes.
Yeah,
the ending scene and the grandma coming. There's just so much of it that's kind of, I don't know, wasted.
I was I was cheesed out with the grandma saving. I was like, get this old bitch out of here.
Yeah.
What is she? No. Your grandma can't just die and then own the beast from hell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work?
That's why
anyone's grandma can just die.
Exactly.
And then just be more powerful than this entity.
That's why I want to see what they originally did before the producers cut everything out, It might have been more elaborate than grandma just coming to save her and she's dead.
Well, in the 90s, this was just before the 90s, of course, they were talking about doing a prequel to Poltergeist that would be all about Cain and his story and rise through all this, how he came to be who he is. Mm-hmm. And probably would have touched back in the 1800s on their journey, and so that would have been pretty cool. And there is a novelization of Poltergeist 2 that many claim to be a lot better than the movie itself, even though the movie came first. And I guess the novelization goes into his history and makes it more suggested that instead of him being the source of the evil or that he is the evil, it's more so that he is possessed by the devil or this demon that is doing everything through him.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So I don't know which one is creepier, but I'd watch a Cain backstory prequel.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Maybe Rob really Zombie could do it, and he would start.
Oh,
Cain's parents in the 1800s would be whatever the equivalent of a trailer park would be,
And you just have him coming in singing his song, "God is in His holy temple,"
and his dad would be there going "Get thou to the privy, and I must." No, that's like 1400.
That's that. Well, it could be either or.
And thy mother lays with others.
Yes,
that is what kind of woman she is. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to picture a guy with calling his wife a whore.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Thine adulterous swine.
I thought the score was pretty good for this.
Fetch me more drink, thy offspring.
Thou offspring of women.
Fetch mine goblet.
Jerry Goldsmith did the score. He did the first one too. He also did The Omen, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But he did this a little bit differently. He had some of the some of the original music in it, but there was a lot more different stuff too that was original to this film.
I think the score still had the classic feel.
Yeah,
it was just
the happy feel, but then some dooming stuff too, and
yeah. It was not a bad sequel. Just missing some nostalgic things, which at the time maybe would have been just as good a sequel, because at the time, like, the first one wasn't nostalgic. You know, we just like it now because it's this perfect 80s movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's just missing some of those elements. Like you said, Rob, obviously it's missing Spielberg. It's not. You can obviously.
You can definitely feel that it's missing Spielberg.
Yeah. I wanted to plug something for Kathleen that she was researching. So there was a psychic advisor for this movie, and I was trying to see if there was one for the first one, but I researched and looked everywhere, and I could not find that there was one. But there was a psychiatric advisor for this one, and there was also, which is kind of
psychic, not psychiatric.
Psychic, yeah,
psychic,
okay. Advisor, and there was also a paranormal researcher for this one too. So they had those on hand just in case shit went down.
They had what's their names there? Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Rob's favorite people.
On hand.
Oh, so they definitely did not have psychic advisors.
Yeah.
Those people could neither advise nor are they psychic.
That house is. I've seen it all.
I've seen animals coming back from the dead.
That house is haunted. Actually, that noise was me upstairs. Oh wow!
I used the bathroom.
Wow. Yeah, but what made you make that noise? Yeah, that's really what we need to know.
Yeah. Gosh,
bunch of hacks.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I thought it was good. At the end, it was a little. I wish there would have been a little more mayhem between Cain and the family and Taylor. In the dig site underneath where their house used to be, more skeletons coming alive or something. But overall, I did like it. I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what happens next, because I have never seen the second or third one before.
The only people that we have coming back in the third one is Zelda Rubinstein and Heather O'Rourke. Everyone else does not come back, are not in it, I believe.
Yeah, and really, I know they wanted to bring back Dr. Lesh or whatever, and that probably would have made more sense for this one because she knew the family and was there most of the first movie. But Rubinstein has basically become like one of the faces of Poltergeist.
Yeah, she is.
Yes,
and she wasn't
just with her odd look and everything.
Yeah, and she does have that odd look. She has that high-pitched Munchkin voice, which is very notable too. Stands out. But
mean, that's when I used to think of Poltergeist. I've always just thought of her.
Yeah.
Like, the little midget lady.
Yeah,
that's
Tangina,
right.
the medium.
Yeah. And Craig T. Nelson.
Of course. And Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah, although
Rest
not
in
really,
peace.
because I thought it was Drew Barrymore for a while.
That's E.T., man.
Yeah.
The budget was $19 million for this, by the way, and the box office was $40.9 million, which it was a success, but kind of a letdown from what they suspected it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
God damn it.
2.
I didn't. Poltergeist 2 is great, but I didn't watch Dragged Across Concrete yet.
I haven't either.
I haven't
watched Dragged Across Concrete yet either. I do
really
want to.
I
I was really busy watching The Highwayman.
Is this our segment? We didn't even know.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, great movie. Now we're on to What Did You Watch?
I watched The Highwayman.
Yeah, we all know. Everyone in the fucking world knows.
How was The Highwayman?
The Highwayman was fantastic. Thank you for
I
asking.
really want to watch it.
I don't think Rob would ever say
it.
a Costner movie wasn't fantastic.
Until he makes one that's not fantastic.
Oh, God. All right.
I mean...
Is that all you watched was The Highwayman over and over again?
I watched it 5 times, Danny.
Oh, man.
Like, with all your
over
attention?
2 hours long. Oh, yeah.
No,
Nope.
get the fuck out of here.
That's streaming where?
Netflix. It's
that is on Netflix.
Original.
Yes, I fucking knew that.
Yeah, so I once again was too busy catching up on watching all the episodes of Game of Thrones. I'm in season 5 now.
Yes.
So I'm getting there. So I don't think I
could have watched The Highwaymen.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm too stuck, man.
I was gonna watch Straight Across Concrete, but I didn't
need to
get
watch
to
that
it.
too. Good gosh, it's a 2.5 hour movie.
I told David Martin I was gonna watch it, but I just didn't get it. I didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah.
And I love Mel Gibson. So
I
really
Gibson.
want to watch this movie.
I love him.
I hear
too.
a couple people have said it's his best yet, but that's a tall order to live up to.
MG.
It's really hard to know.
No, not Mel Gibson.
Everything
Craig
is
Craig Zalt. Oh, okay. I was saying what?
No, not Mel Gibson.
I really want to watch it. I've got no problem. The only problem I kind of have with this is that it's like $7 to rent.
Is it?
Yeah, it's $6.99 to rent it. Which I really want to watch this movie, so I may break down and do that. But also, good God, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
It's a long movie.
That's a little steep for me, but it may be fantastic. So I'm going to give it a try.
Don't you remember back in the day, all the best movies were long? Don't you Braveheart?
Braveheart was 3 hours.
And
The Shining's long.
And The Patriot and Last Samurai and all those epic battle movies. The Gladiator.
Lord of the Rings.
They all came with 2 VHSs when you got it from Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, Titanic.
You had to put in the next tape.
Yeah. The next tape, yeah. Switch over to side 2.
No, there's no side 2.
Tape 2.
They were always the best. You knew that if it was over 2 hours, it was going to be a good movie. You're like, oh yeah, this is going to be good.
Oh yeah, no, I really want to watch it. What was I going to say?
I finished the series You on Netflix with my wife Liz. It was actually really, really, really good. So I'd recommend that. There's some spicy stuff in it. But yeah, I didn't get to watch any movies this week.
All right, well that's that segment, I guess.
That is the segment.
I mean, there hasn't been anything. I was going to say I got tickets already for the new Pet Cemetery.
Oh yes, I cannot wait.
I'm going this Sunday at 1:30. Best part is my mom got the tickets and she's going with me.
No way.
So
nice.
It's going to be awesome. My mom's who's the one that got me into Stephen King and horror, so
That's
it's going to
badass.
be she's like, as soon as we get home from church, we're going to go watch Pet Cemetery.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about it.
Tons of good reviews out there for it already.
I'm avoiding all reviews and all spoilers. I already know what one of them is. Everybody kind of knows that they changed a little bit of the story around.
Just go assess it for yourself. Yeah, because there was a whole thing with Stephen King. Yeah, whatever. We're not going to get into it.
So they just released 2 days ago the final trailer for it, and it is insane. I am so ready.
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't been really excited for a movie like this in a long. I wasn't even this excited for it because nobody knew how all these Stephen King remakes were going to go. Mm-hmm. And if this is anywhere near as good as it, it's going to just be mind blowing.
Yeah. Everyone says, well, we'll just wait, but Stephen King's best one yet. Movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I'll probably have to check it out too. Hopefully in theaters.
We should go this week.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Oh man, I'm so stoked. And then before we jet out, I do want to plug. Me and my buddy have a video gaming. YouTube channel that we've started. It's called Robot Punch. So if you go onto YouTube and search Robot Punch under channels, you'll find us there. I hope you like and subscribe and check it out. And other than that,
heck yeah,
that's all I got going on.
You guys, if you haven't yet, need to go like and follow She Walks the Woods on all social media.
Yes,
I can't wait to watch my link.
Yeah, I just sent Rob
the private link.
The private link to the. We just finished post sound, except for one little thing and the credit roll. The movie is done. It's totally done.
So exciting.
So
I'll be selling access to the private link.
No.
For $100 a view.
And
more than that.
Hopefully we'll have a trailer cut in the next 2 weeks or so. And but we still don't know don't be asking us when and where is it coming out yet, because that's our next hurdle. We're gonna try and we're gonna start big and work our way down. So
try to go for some distribution.
Hopefully it's on like Netflix or something. And if it's not, then hopefully it's on like Shudder. Then if it's not, hopefully we just get on Amazon. We drive a shitload of traffic to it.
Yeah, but I also want to thank you guys, the fans, for going to like our film She Walks the Woods, and of course being cult classic fans for this long too. So we really appreciate your support on everything that we do, you guys.
Yeah, so
wouldn't be here without you.
Follow it, and we're gonna. If we end up having to sort of self-promote it, we will definitely need everyone's help in renting it all on the same day or something, so it catches the attention of Amazon or whatever. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we just get some cool distribution. But awesome, guys. Well, follow us at Cult Classic Horror on everything, at CC Horror on Twitter, at Danny Bonin, at Scotty Bonin, at O'Neilio with 4 O's, and we'll be coming back at you next week with Poltergeist 3.
Yes.
The Poltergeistening.
Exactly. All right. We'll catch you guys next week.
Later, guys.
Later, guys.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.